In order to consider why schools take up Christian meditation, I'd like to take you on a journey. It's a journey with a difference, because this is a journey into silence. And it's really rather strange that we're so averse to silence, because in many ways silence is our natural state. We start, before we're born, being silent, and when we're dead, then we're silent again. But in between, we seem to like to fill that space with endless noise and commotion and doing, and the brain is kept humming in various directions. It's interesting that UNESCO, when they looked at the model for education for the 21st century, identified this as a real problem. And they structured their model on four pillars of education. And these were learning to know, learning to do, learning to live together, and finally, learning to be. Now, unfortunately, they tell us a lot about the first three, but very little about the last. And in many ways, that's the purpose of this DVD. The purpose of the DVD is to see how we can learn to be, and more importantly, how we can learn to be silent. Now, Patricia and I have spent the last 3 years going around schools, particularly primary schools, with this in mind. And we've really enjoyed spending time with the teachers and the children and seeing how they can learn to be silent and how they can enjoy being silent in an otherwise busy world. What do schools discover when they try this process? Because in many senses, it's very different from the normal education process. Well, we're going to take you to a school that's in the very early stages of discovery. They've just started by having a twilight session for the teachers at the St. Albert the Great Catholic Primary School, and then they're going to spend time with the children every day, meditating for different periods of time. Now, we thought it would be useful to actually show you how to start these sort of sessions in the classroom. And so you'll see children of different ages meditating with the teacher there so that they know how they should undertake this task. And what we try to do is to make it very simple, because meditation's simple, and we've tried to provide the tools to facilitate that task in the easiest possible way. The strange thing is that children enjoy silence, even the children who are particularly boisterous and those children with special needs find that silence is very useful in making them more attentive to the next lesson that they're going to be in. And this question of attention is really important, and one of the things that meditation teaches us, whether we're children or whether we're adults. And they actually enjoy that silence. And we've had lots of comments from children saying, I can't usually concentrate in the afternoon at school, but now, with a period of meditation, even for a few minutes, I find that I can concentrate and I can absorb what's coming next. So we have 3 basic objectives in this DVD. The first one is to adopt a very simple format of words and music, and you'll see this in operation. The second is that we should recognize that different aged children require to use this format in slightly different ways. So you'll see different classes with different age children and a slightly modified form of winding up to the meditation and learning to be silent. And lastly, and perhaps most importantly, schools have found that they're not in a static situation. They're always getting new teachers. They're always getting changes in staff. So it's important to teach these new staff how to meditate. And when I say teach, it's a strange and different form of teaching in that what we're really doing is showing those teachers how to meditate with the children, how they can share the beauty of meditation and how they can too benefit from learning to be silent. In looking at the question of why teachers should be confident, it's important to remember that many schools, many faith schools, are already practicing Christian meditation. Well over 150 schools in the UK are already in that position. That means that something like 30,000 children are meditating every day and enjoying it. And I have to say the teachers are absolutely brilliant in adopting this very new and very different process in their educational life. The reason that they're so brilliant, I believe, is that they realise the importance of passing on this gift. Just as Patricia and I enjoy passing on the gift to schools and to children, the teachers themselves realise that passing on the gift of meditation is something that is not just a gift for the moment, it is something that will last throughout the children's lives. And one of the reasons that the teachers should be confident is that all the tools for the job are provided. We have an excellent CD which has all the music and the words for the children to sing, as you'll hear at the start of the meditation session. And it also has timed periods of silence, indicated by gongs, so that the children know when to start, and gongs so that the children know when to stop, and a final blessing. So this CD can be loaded onto the school intranet, and every class can use a time that's appropriate for that age of children. The last but most important thing is that the children themselves will help the teachers. And the children are very good at this. They will participate in setting up the meditation table, in deciding how long they should meditate, in actually running some of the meditation sessions. And we've been intrigued recently that some of the primary school children have gone into their secondary schools when they've moved up and actually taught the secondary school children how to meditate. How good is that? And they're so enjoying it that they also teach their siblings and in some cases their parents to meditate as well. So this is a gift that's very naturally passed on. So what are the fruits and benefits of Christian meditation? Well, the one thing that's always mentioned by the teachers is that Christian meditation is the one thing in school that isn't measured, and they really find that a huge advantage. Now, when I say it's not measured, it doesn't mean to say that it has no effect, because what they will also tell you is that once they start Christian meditation, it's very noticeable that their academic results actually improve. And that's in situations where nothing else in the school has changed. So it's reasonable to suppose that Christian meditation has a secular benefit in actually increasing academic performance. But more important than that, and remembering that we're trying to develop the whole child here, that's the spiritual, moral, cultural, and social aspects of the child. It's important to remember that the spiritual aspects can increase very significantly. The ethos of the school is likely to improve. The spiritual ethos of the children is likely to improve. And the fruits of the Spirit are seen in the way in which the children behave towards each other and behave towards the teachers. So the conclusion of all this is that Christian meditation is infectious. Learning to be silent is something that you catch, you don't necessarily learn. But having caught it, then it's something that can be passed on to other children, to other schools, to other parts of our community. And this, we believe, is the real reason why Christian meditation is a huge advantage, not only for the schools, but for the community at large.
Our school motto actually comes from St. Albert the Great's ethos and his philosophy. And it's the more we learn about the world in which we live, the closer we grow to God. So through Christian meditation, we will be able to reflect upon all the things that God has given us, whether it's our material things or the gifts of friendship and of love. And then, of course, use that to grow closer to God and to influence all of our interactions with the others that we meet.